Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Idahoan Show. You know, when I had this well put in to water my livestock, I thought I made it clear to the well drilling company that I was going to be using it on an intermittent basis, run it once every couple of weeks, year round, so I assumed they would design it accordingly so it'd be usable year round, wouldn't freeze up in the winter. That turned out to be a poor assumption on my part. As it would happen, they designed it with check valves, just like your typical domestic well, such that when you shut off the pump, the well really doesn't drain back into the ground. You've got standing water all the way up to the top of the pipe here. Consequently, with Idaho's sub-freezing temperatures, the last time I went out to water my horses, turned on the well pump and nothing would come out of the well. So, shut the pump off, disassembled the wellhead, found about a 4-foot long plug of ice in the top of the pipe. So after chipping that out with a piece of rebar, I was able to get some water to the horses, but in trying to figure out how to frost-proof that so that I could continue to use this well, I ended up coming up with a pretty effective and elegant solution that I thought I'd share with you today for frost-proofing this kind of a well. So what I've got here is a T-fitting, and then on the perpendicular part of the T, just put a ball valve and then a quick disconnect fitting so I can hook up my air compressor to it. On the other side of the T, I've got a custom fitting that I welded up here that, it's got a hose barb that I can attach my hose to, but then it's actually got a smaller tube that goes down into the well pipe about 10 feet. And so that way, when I'm done watering, I can just shut off the well pump, hook my air compressor up to it, and open the ball valve, and that'll actually blow out not only the hose itself, but also the top 10 feet of the well column. And that way there's no water within 10 feet of the surface, and so nothing's actually going to freeze up. When I'm done watering, I can just hook up my air compressor to this fitting. And then blow out not only the hose that I'm using, but also the top 10 feet of the well column. And that'll ensure that there's no water within 10 feet of the surface and therefore nothing to freeze up, since it only freezes to about 6 feet down typically. So that's all there is to it. I'll try to put together a computer animation that illustrates the setup on the wellhead a little better than what you can just see on the camera and for me describing it. But it really is a pretty simple solution, and yet it seems to be proving very effective. So I wanted to share it with you all. Thanks for watching the Idahoan Show.